to the recording going. Yeah, so tonight we'll be chatting about various ways that we can look at reducing the cost significantly to obtaining a grad cert and masters in your specialisation of IT. So we'll get straight into it. Before I do, just please feel free to pop all of your questions in the Q&A and we'll answer them throughout the webinar and at the end as well. Thank you. All right, thanks, Ryan.
So just to kick things off here, we've just got a brief overview of the course titles that we have. Off the top, obviously, cybersecurity, cloud computing and virtualization, networking and sysadmin, and a general course title in grad cert and computing, which has quite a large scope of Group A and Group B electives, which tie in nicely with the other grad certs. The other industry professional certs that we have, qualifications, I should say, is the project management, applied digital marketing and business admin. The business admin is pretty unique with a specialization, which we'll touch on later on.
Awesome. Okay, so your journey to a master's. So we have a couple of avenues in terms of eligibility and entry criteria to go into a graduate certificate or master's course. So the first one up is as long as you've got 2 years of certificate in your preferred specialization. If you do happen to have a bachelor's degree, which can be in any discipline, you are then automatically eligible to go straight into the master's as well. So we do recommend, because of Commonwealth Supported Places, CSP, that you do start with the graduate certificate, as 4 of our graduate certificate courses are eligible for the CSP discount, which then is the first 4 subjects of the master's anyway. So it allows you to graduate with a graduate certificate qualification in a shorter amount of time, while still utilising those subjects towards your future masters as well. So the CSP discount is a 71% discount on the grad cert course fees. So it's roughly about $11,000 saving. Typically a grad cert can cost around $15,500, which is pretty across the board at pretty much all Australian universities. But with that discount, it brings down our fees to just a little under $4,500. We do have a start date coming up, a session coming up in November, which commences on the 11th, where we can say that we do still have CSP places available. They can be limited from one session to the next, but there's certainly still spaces for November if you're looking to get started next month.
So with any previous graduate level studies completed, we do offer an opportunity where those subjects studied under the respective course title, when 80% of that content maps across to the subjects within the respective course or subject that you're interested in. When that maps across, then you're eligible for a subject credit in most cases. And this is obviously a great way in which you can utilize any previous graduate or master's studies to reduce the time spent studying through subject credits. One of our industry partners is ACS, the Australian Computing Society, and they provide us with the service of recognition of prior learning in particular. So if you have 10 to 20 years of professional experience, but you haven't had the opportunity to certify those skills, learn on the job, this is a great avenue to have those skills recognized. And naturally, they do equate to credits at study as well. And this is typically a great investment, because obviously the study costs subject at full fee can be $3,890. If you get the CSP, it's $1,116, as we've seen. The membership for this is $800. So if you can get a couple of subject credits there, then the return on investment is quite obvious.
Okay, so something that we do with IT Masters and Charles Sturt University is we assess a very broad range of industry certifications in real time. as those continue to evolve and expand. So here we've got, a couple, just sort of some examples of some of the larger vendors, but we do have a large database of certs that we do recognise for the purposes of credit towards our grad certs and master courses. So we have the avenue of applying through, excuse me, of submitting an eligibility form through our website where you can list your certifications, and our eligibility team and credit team will assess those to let you know if they are eligible for credit. So it's always worthwhile, if you do have some certs, just popping through an inquiry, because you never know, they could in fact be eligible for credit. A lot of the ones listed on here are the larger vendors, but we do assess a lot of different ones as well. So some of these certs warrant, up to 1, up to 3 subject credits towards our grad certs and master courses. So it's just a great way to have those certifications recognised, and those sort of competencies that you've already displayed by having those certs carried across for credit towards getting a postgraduate qualification. And for each credit that you get towards a subject, it's quite a significant saving off each of those subjects. And, there is a credit policy where you are allowed to get up to 50% or 50% of the course in credit. So it's a great way to reduce study costs and study time, especially from your master subjects, which are full fee subjects. So just to put that into context, full fee subjects in the masters where CSP isn't applicable, those subjects are closer to 4,000. They'll go up next year to about just a little over 4,000. So as you can imagine, if you can get, a handful of subjects of credits, like let's say you have a CISP qualification and that's eligible for 3 credits, that's already a $12,000 saving. So quite significant and definitely worthwhile. The eligibility form is just on our website. So it's a nice little easy form you can fill out. We can just list those industry certs on there, and then the team will get back to you within 24 to 48 hours, letting you know what credits you might be eligible for. We do also have a certification finder here via this link, which is a nice quick way just to search your certs. But yeah, just to point out, these are just listing a few of those. There's plenty that we have already assessed and offer credit for.
Yeah, and to further support the industry cert credits, IT Masters has a great opportunity where they have a full library of short courses, free university short courses. And when you complete 3 of those short courses and get a pass, you also get access to a Group B subject credit, which obviously for people who are interested in just doing the graduate certificate, saves you time and money spent on the one subject. If you're interested in doing the masters as a long-term goal, then it's probably better placed from a financial perspective to save the credit for a full fee subject. But this is obviously just another great opportunity to reduce the time and cost of study. Additionally, I think it's really important to mention that if you're coming from a career that's outside of the IT industry, getting access to the introduction in cyber ops or Internet of Things, and just getting a foundation of knowledge before entering into, say, cybersecurity fundamentals is a great way to set yourself up to pass that fundamentals course, or foundational subject, I should say.
All right, we just got a question in the chat. We do have a start session in February for Nilesh. So that is session 1 of 2025. Yeah, so that commences in February. We don't have a March session, just sort of to answer your question there. The next one after that should fall around, I believe, May. Ryan, can I get you to check do you have the date for Feb? Just so I don't.
Yeah, it's Feb 28.
Excellent.
So it's end of Feb. I haven't checked out the May one yet. The one after that, I'll just have a look.
That's okay. He's just asking about Feb and March. But yeah, Feb 28. Thanks, Nilesh. Guys, feel free to keep popping your questions in the chat or the Q&A. Thank you. Okay, so this is a bit more of a visual example and sort of a dollar value example of how exactly you can save money via CSP towards 2 graduate certificates to your masters. So in this example, we've got, if you were to start with a graduate certificate in cybersecurity, which is 4 subjects, with the CSP discount for 2024's pricing, the CSP discount puts the subjects around 1,116. So that gives you a total of what you can see there. So just a little under 4,464. Excuse me. So after a student does a grad cert in cyber, upon CSP still being available in a session where they're ready to continue with a second grad cert, for example, what you might do is then opt for a grad cert in cloud computing after your first grad cert, utilizing the CSP again. So what that allows you to do is with strategic planning, which by the way, we and our team will assist you with. So we'll do the heavy lifting in terms of making sure that you're choosing the correct electives and subjects for this plan to work effectively. But basically, by choosing another 4 subjects after your first 4 under CSP, it will allow you to carry across 8 CSP price subjects towards a 12-subject master's. So if you were to start in cyber and then do a second grad cert in cloud, and your end goal is to, or your future goal is to do a master's in cybersecurity, then via this plan, what you'd be able to do is have 8 subjects credit towards that Masters of Cyber at the CSP price. By doing so, excuse me, you will have saved around 22,192. So it's quite a significant saving and definitely worthwhile doing. And if this is something that's of interest to you, please reach out to us directly, because it's something that we can sort of do the course mapping with you and sort of explain in more detail via a one-to-one sort of one-on-one chat. So here you can see what the normal fees would be. So yeah, 46,680. So, you know, half price. I just want to note on this as well that via this pathway, there is still room for more credit, again, with strategic planning once you go into the masters, where there's other avenues, as Ryan mentioned, via short course credit, industry cert credit. So once you've gone to the masters, you'll be left with only 4 full fee paying subjects, where there is still room for 2 more credits if it fits within the course structure via university policy as well. And again, to explain that in more detail, please reach out and we'll have a one-to-one chat with you.
So this is obviously just another example of what you just went through. I think really what we're trying to visually display here is how the CSP and course structure interact and have a relationship, and it can be reconfigured across many different course titles. So here we have the grad cert in computing, 4 subjects at a CSP cost of 1116, obviously equals that 4464, and you repeat that process into the grad cert in networking sysadmin. So you would typically strategically select networking sysadmin in the computing, select 4 more that are of a different subject code, and collectively you carry those 8 subjects that studied at grad cert across to that master in networking, and you can get your credits and CSP subsidized by way of that grad cert. And again, very similar figures there, where you've got your master's fee of 46,680 at full fee, and a savings of 22,192 after the CSP is implemented, for the total of 24,488. So you can quickly see there's a big subsidy from the government on offer, and obviously that makes it far more achievable for people to pivot careers from a return on investment perspective, and wanting to maximize how much they can earn and spend in comparison to what their study costs are. There's
Awesome.
a big question there, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to read that out. Is there a certain restriction on CSP availability for subjects, example, grad cert of computing, as a start point to transfer and finish with grad cert in project management? So to answer that question, so CSP is applied to eligible grad certs. So those grad certs are made up of 4 subjects. So in these examples, which touches exactly to this sort of point here, is that if you were to do 2 grad certs, as long as CSP is available in those sessions that you're doing either grad cert, there isn't a restriction in any way around that. As long as you're successfully completing the CSP subjects to secure CSP across all 4 subjects, that's the main thing of your course. So in this situation, if you were to do a grad cert of computing to start with, yes, that's allowed. So how that would work is you would do a grad cert in computing. You would study 3 out of the 4 subjects under the CSP because it's an eligible CSP course. And then upon your 3rd subject, you would apply for what we call a course transfer, where you transfer into the grad cert in project management, which is not a CSP eligible course. And then once you transfer over, that 4th and final project management subject would be a full fee subject, so closer to the $4,000 mark. But that would allow you to actually graduate with a graduate certificate in project management. So that's sort of how that would work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep. So sorry. Yes, that's correct. So CSP is available for our graduate certificate in networking and systems admin, our graduate certificate in computing career transition, our grad cert in cybersecurity, and our grad cert in cloud computing and virtualization. So unfortunately, project management, business administration, and applied digital marketing aren't CSP eligible, but the grad cert in computing career transition is at least an option where you can at least get 3 out of the 4 grad cert subjects in the latter of the 3 I've mentioned at that heavily discounted price, which, you know, once you still course transfer and you do that 4th subject of full fee paying, I believe roughly that's still via that plan, still about, you know, $7,000-8,000 savings. So still significantly that helps. All right.
I think also 10% alumni for masters, if you've done your grad cert, is another cheeky little way to get some savings there as well.
Yeah, that's right. So thanks, Ryan. It's another way to reduce those costs even more, as well as credits. So lots of options available to really reduce overall masters, definitely. All right. Oh, there we go. Fees and funding options. So for all Australian citizens, you have access to fee help and HECS as government student loans. So once a CSP is applied and you're looking at that sort of 1,116 per subject, that's the gap amount that you can still even then defer onto student loans. Same as the masters, even at the full fee subjects. So in either courses, you can defer those upfront costs onto the student loans. It is a debt that you will need to repay later. There's more information via this Study Assist link here. But yeah, basically when it comes to payment, you either have the option of paying upfront. You don't ever pay for a subject just studying upfront at a time. So for example, if you're just studying part-time, let's say, which looks like 1 subject at a time, you just pay the total cost of that subject upfront prior to the session census date. And then once you get to the next start date, you do the same and so forth. If you are opting for student loans, then the HECS or fee help will actually kick in each census date per session and pay that for you, and you'll accumulate that as a debt. So credit can be applied at any point during your studies. So if you do have aspirations to do an industry cert or to do the 3 free short courses to have that short course credit, all you've got to do is just let us know your plans and intentions. And then basically we'll just assist you in ensuring that based on your subject selection, we leave room for that credit. The short course one is a good example where, you know, as long as you leave room for the section being a Group B elective where that short course credit can come out of, often students then just sort of graduate early while they're saving that sort of credit for later on. And then that can just be applied later once you've had the chance to do those short courses. Or if it's an industry cert that you know that you're currently working on a plan to, same goes. We just leave room for it. Just let us know if that's sort of part of your plan. And just to point out, if it's a CSP course and you are using a student loan, it would be HECS for that and fee help for the master full fee subject. So just a mild sort of small difference there. Just going to the questions here. So 1 subject across 14 weeks is 9 to 11 hours per week. Yep, that's correct. So our sessions and terms run from 12 to 14 weeks online. The recommendation is, you know, anywhere from 8 to 12 hours per subject. And what we understand is this is going to fluctuate each week. And this is sort of what we tell students, given that you guys, you know, are at a different point in your careers, often have full-time employment and family and many things to balance. Typically, this recommendation comes from the perspective that we want to ensure that you're being successful in submitting those assessments and exams by their set due dates, because they are, you know, there is structure in that way. But how you study each week and how you divvy up the study time by a day and hours is completely up to you. And that's where the benefit of online learning flexibility comes in. But yeah, you might have weeks where you have less time and weeks where you have more. So it's all about just sort of being strategic and planning ahead just to ensure you're submitting those assessments and being able to be prepared for those exams by their due dates is the main thing. Okay, next question. Typically takes 12 to 18 months to complete at a normal pace. I'm not sure if I understand that question correctly, but in terms of course completion dates, if you were to study a graduate certificate, which is just the 4 subjects part-time, you're looking at 8 months. And if you were to study that full-time, you're looking at 4 months. A master's, if you were starting with the master's and not the grad cert, that would be 2 years part-time, 1 year full-time. But again, with the CSP, as long as you're an Australian citizen or permanent resident to be eligible for it, we would always recommend that you start with the grad cert to take advantage of that discount and make that, you know, around $11,000 saving on the grad cert to begin with. Next question. What options do students have for payment of fees, except if the due date is in 4 weeks? Can that be extended by a few weeks, or is that strict to be paid by the due date? Yeah, so with that, we've sort of just covered, sorry, I didn't see that question earlier, but we've just covered sort of payment options. It's either upfront or via student loans. But with every session with university level of study, there's always a census date, and that census date falls 4 weeks after the start date every session. And that is the definitive cutoff for fee payment, whether that's out of pocket or via student loans. It basically gives students around 4 weeks to sort of start the course, see if it's, you know, something that's going to be achievable for them in terms of that study load, in terms of academic studies, etc. You know, things pop up in life. It just gives you that 4 weeks to sort of kind of like a try before you buy. But once that census comes around, that's when fees are required to be paid upfront for whatever subjects you're doing in that session. And basically, once that comes around, you know, it is sort of a cutoff for academic and financial penalties. So you've got those 4 weeks of movement to sort of make adjustments or withdraw anything that, you know, you need to do based on what's happening at that time. Okay, someone's got a trip planned in May. Will I be able to last exam finish? So I don't have the exam dates up here in front of me at the moment. So definitely just reach out directly and we'll have a look at if, you know, depending on what subjects you're doing, if for May, if there's any exams. But what we would recommend in these situations is if you do have a trip planned, just checking if there are any assessments or exams due once you're a student, just to allow, you know, any time for that. If it is going to be a lengthy trip and you think that's going to be an issue, we are very supportive in our student support team, so definitely reach out, but we just want to make sure we're setting you up to be as successful as possible and not, you know, having any situations where you're not able to submit those assessments or exams by their due dates. All right, next question. Can we take 2 subjects together part-time for grad cert? So basically, if you're doing 2 subjects at the same time, that is classified as full-time study, not part-time study. You certainly can do that in a graduate certificate, but just to clarify, it is classified as full-time study. So you would be doubling that study load. Yeah, so if you do work full-time, 40 hours or more a week, we usually don't recommend that, although we know that some people might have, you know, a study day that's organised with their employer and things like that. So yeah, definitely reach out to us directly so we can have more of a one-on-one chat about how that all works and what that looks like. But yes, you certainly can do 2 subjects alongside each other in one session. Next question. when would be the start date for session 3 of this year? So that will commence November 11th. So we're coming up close to session 3, but there certainly is still time to apply. We generally close applications 1 week before the start date and then allow time for some late apps. The reason for this is because it does take a few days to process your application. So the earlier the better. If you are looking to apply for November, now's the time to do it at your earliest convenience. Because yeah, it can just take a few days to process that. Although we are pretty quick on that as we get closer to the start date. I could see it online, but worried that I still haven't received access to the module. Yeah, so you'll receive, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, you should receive once you've applied and your application's been processed by admissions team, access to the learning materials. Is it the Friday before the start date, Ryan?
Yeah. Yeah,
Usually,
it's about a week prior to the start date. You get access to your learning materials. It's give or take, say 3 to 5 days.
yeah. So provided you're applying early and not like 1 day before the start date, you can sort of expect that early access. But I mean, if it is a late application and we are getting closer towards the start date, that still will happen relatively quickly. There might just be a 1 or 2 day lag on that. So by all means, please apply early as possible. All right.
So there's just need to clear up with Daniel the 14. So 14 weeks is a session, and within that session you can enroll into multiple subjects. So you can study one subject in a session, or you can study 4 subjects in a session. In my time since working here, I've only seen 2 people do 4 subjects in one 14-week block, which would obviously give them the completed grad cert in around, well, less than 8 months even. So it's self-paced learning. You can implement leave of absences in between each subject or session, and you can stretch out the life of the study over 3 years if you wanted.
Awesome. All right. We're up to, okay, stay with the questions. Would absences have impact on CSP? So yeah, to Ryan's point there, as long as you can do leave of absences and still have CSP applied for your remaining subjects. The main thing is you do need to complete the first subject in that CSP session successfully. So for example, if you're enrolling into a CSP eligible course in session 3, November 11th intake, you do need to successfully complete at least one subject in November session to then secure the CSP pricing for the remaining other 3 subjects in that grad cert. So for example, if Feb came around, or the session after that where work was really hectic or something came up and you needed like a session break for those 3 months, you could do that and return after a 3-month break, and pick up where you left off while still having CSP applicable to the remaining subjects, as long as you've done the first subjects and completed that successfully in the first session. So in terms of your question, Nilesh, for next year, which subjects are eligible for grad certs in cyber? It's not so much which subjects eligible for CSP. The whole graduate certificate in cybersecurity is eligible as a whole course for CSP. So as long as you successfully finish one of your grad cert electives in, for example, November session this year, then any subjects you do next year within that cybersecurity course is going to be eligible for CSP pricing. And if you have a look at our course structures on our website, as you can see, there are many electives available from both Group A and Group B sections for grad certs in cyber, networking, cloud, and computing as well. So you can choose any 2 subjects from Group A and any 2 from Group B, which are all going to be CSP price, provided that you're studying those in CSP eligible sessions, in which case November is. Yep, so just to answer that there, grad cert in cloud computing and virtualization is eligible for CSP as well. So just to reiterate, we have 4 courses eligible for CSP: networking, cloud, cyber, and our computing career transition course. Cool. All right, so we've got some useful links here as well for you guys. Just to reiterate in terms of eligibility, if you just want to check if you're eligible, if you have a bunch of industry certs or just a few that you want to assess for credit as well, just pop it through here to eligibility at itmasters.edu.au. Otherwise, please contact Ryan and myself directly via our contact details below for, a one-on-one conversation about your study options. Yeah, basically anything you want to chat about, how CSP works in more detail if need be. Yeah. Ryan, is there anything you want to add to that or?
I was just responding to Nilesh there, sorry. Not a great deal. Yeah, basically, yeah, just we'll always be available for any discussion and strategic discussion about how to implement CSP and subject credits, industry credits, and realistically at IT Masters, we really try to focus on exactly that, reducing the cost of the study and ensuring that you don't have to double handle studies that you may have completed 10 years ago. And that's our focus really, as is CSU.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, that is the main focus of this, to help you get your masters as economically as possible and sort of upskill or, go forward in your career and your specialization in those ways. Just got a question here. Can I mix 2 grad certs for a master's in cyber? You certainly can. So there's a couple, so you have 2 options. You can either do 1 grad cert and then a second, as sort of we showed in that example earlier. Or if you are in a position where you can do, sort of need to consistently stick with that, if you were to do this option, is what you could do is do 2 grad certs concurrently. We would need to seek approval for you, but it is something that some of our students do. Again, it's a full-time study load, so just something to consider. But essentially what that looks like is doing 1 subject in 1 grad cert and 1 subject in another grad cert concurrently, so that you're still doing 2 subjects each session as full-time study, but you're actually completing 2 grad certs at the same time under CSP, which means you're going to, when you graduate with both of them, have, again, similar scenario to doing one after the other, 8 CSP price subjects to feed towards your future masters. And in this case, in your question, cybersecurity there. Another question. Sorry, Basanta. These webinars will be recorded, so if you've missed most of it, that's okay. We will record them and email them out to you, but feel free to, I believe you've received an email from Ryan, so Ryan's contact details are here. Feel free to reach out to him directly for one-on-one chat there too. Okay. That's all the questions, I think. Well, if there is no other questions, we might leave it there. Thank you everyone for attending tonight. Really appreciate you taking out the time to come along this evening. Hopefully this has been helpful. But again, Ryan and I here in the team are here to sort of answer any questions that you have that you may think of later. Please feel free to email or just give us a call. It's a very one-on-one service that we offer. And when it comes to credits, eligibility, CSP, and planning, especially planning a 2 graduate certificate CSP pathway to masters, we do all of the work for you. So don't stress too much. It might sound a little bit complicated, but we do all of the course mapping for you. It's a service that we organise to make sure that we have your personalised study plan available to you. And yeah, we sort of go from there.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, we got
another question. Yep.
Do you want to go for it, Ryan? Or I can do it.
Yeah.
All good.
So in short, provided that the subjects that you've studied at grad cert level, Basanta, map across to the master that you're interested in, the short answer is yes. You can get 8 subject credits towards that. That'll leave you 4 full fee subjects. And we mentioned earlier that a good way to reduce the cost and study less full fee subjects is to use that short course credit that we mentioned earlier, and also an industry certification can assist as well to cut the total subjects down from 12 to 10 as a whole pathway towards achieving the master. It is possible. It doesn't always work out that way for everyone, but if we have good planning and in place and assist you directly, it should work out. No, that's just for Group B, the short course credit, sorry. So the Group A is academic subjects and the Group B are industry subjects. The short course credit is only for the Group B industry subjects. Sorry to cut you off there, Nikki.
Oh, no, all good, all good. All right, cool. So is there anything else anyone wants to ask before we go tonight? Just give it a minute, maybe.
Yeah.
Has some questions. And just to reiterate, there's still CSP places available for the upcoming November 11th session. Just another point to make, fees do go up annually, and that's sort of across the board with all Australian universities. So just keep that in mind too, that it's a further way to save money by at least starting one subject in November. By doing so, you'll have secured 2024's pricing for all of your course, even though majority of it will be studied next year, provided you start in November. What's the cutoff for session November? So as I sort of said before, we usually do the cutoff 1 week prior to the start date. So, early November it would be, but we do allow for late applications, but we just don't recommend it because, as I said, it can take a few days for application processing. And it all just depends, like if you have a bunch of credit and things like that, want to allow time to sort of strategically plan and course map with you, to make sure we're putting forward the best study plan for you as possible. But there is that option as well, to apply closer to November 11th. But we just recommend, if you are looking to start, just applying as early as possible so that you get that early access to the content and it's sort of not like a mad rush at the start date, just ensuring that you're starting off with the best foot forward. Yeah, we will be sharing the recording. So the webinar is recorded, and that, I believe, will be emailed out to you guys as well.
It's just
all right, great.
There's just one more, sorry. So if you're paying a little bit more than the 1,116, it's probably because it's a management subject. The IT subjects or the cyber subjects are at that quoted price of 1,116. Management subjects are a little bit more.
Yes, that's a really good point. Thank you, Ryan. Whilst the CSP discount is the same, the baseline of the subject fees are higher for many management subjects. That's right. So you're still getting a saving on there, but it's just the discount's just taken off the starting price. What level of detail is required for relevant work experience to gain entry? So in terms of work experience, and Ryan sort of touched on this point earlier, we don't directly assess work experience for the purposes of credit. But in terms of eligibility, as long as you've got 2 years of full-time relevant IT work experience. So in this case, in terms of relevancy, it would just be any IT role realistically. Like if you're applying for computing, cloud computing, networking or cyber, it could be any IT work experience as long as it's within IT. It's 2 years and in a full-time capacity. That's the minimum requirement to go into a graduate certificate in your preferred specialisation. In terms of what needs to be provided upon application, what you would need to upload within your application, the supporting documents, is your CV mainly, and then if upon looking at that, if any further documentation is required, admissions team will reach out to you directly and let you know. But for the most part, it's just the CV that sort of demonstrates and shows that you've got at least those 2 years of IT work experience. Thanks, John. All right. Well, thank you everyone so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And yeah, just to reiterate, please reach out to us directly so we can have a chat with you. And if you are looking at November session, please do so at your earliest convenience as we are getting closer to that start date. Otherwise, have a great evening. Thank you so much.
Ciao. See you.
All right, bye all. See you later.